If, one day, we cure aging and all diseases, we will all die horrible deaths. Having your body stretched on the rack torture device probably makes your back feel great at one point. If you are having a bad day at work, just remember that someone once accidentally burnt down Notre Dame. When incognito mode generation grows up, nobody will understand delete your history jokes. Our skin is the only organ we get to personalize, and the only organ we can compliment without sounding creepy. In the future, rhinos will be as mythical as unicorns. The world's greatest massage therapist will never experience the world's greatest massage. When you warm up by the fire, you're cooking yourself to a comfortable temperature. Everything is a weapon, it's just how useful you can be with it. With all of the birds in the world, it seems kind of strange that we don't come across more dead ones. Good artists think they suck and bad artists think they're good. If fish screamed, fishing wouldn't be so popular. We usually don't realize how deep a song is until we feel that level of sad. The language baby's inner thoughts are before they learn how to speak is the actual human language. Your dinosaur game high score probably reflects how bad your internet connection is. With app-based dating, many relationships have started while someone was sitting on the toilet. Google really got rid of view full image and just never looked back. If you throw a rock into the ocean, you're the last person to ever touch that rock. That rock will sit at the bottom of the ocean till the sun turns into a red Gantt and engulfs the earth. The increasing number of warning labels on products is directly proportional to the increasing number of idiots on our planet. You never stop clapping. You just make the interval between two claps extremely long. If your child doesn't know, it's not their fault. It's yours. A few hundred years ago, being a passenger on a tall ship crossing the ocean must have been fucking terrifying. We take double jumping for granted in games, but it's the most physically paranormal thing in real life. If you ask why enough times, you will always eventually get to philosophy. If everyone self-quarantines for a few weeks, there's probably gonna be a bit of a baby boom come Christmas. Uneducated people are too uneducated to understand how uneducated they are. If the invisible man can see through himself, then he can still see with his eyes closed. Your brain taught itself how to talk to itself. No one else thinks like you is either calling you a genius or an idiot. Spring cleaning is only a thing because it happens when seasonal depression begins to decline. Eyebrows aren't usually thought of when facial hair is mentioned. Keys that are clipped to your belt loop and make the clang sound when you walk is the modern-day version of wearing spurs on your boots. Back in the day, when someone was swerving while driving, we would think this guy is drunk. Nowadays, we think get off your phone. There are kids getting rickrolled today who weren't even alive when it started. Nails are perfectly fine when they're on someone's hand, but the second you cut them off, nobody wants to touch them. Thank a scientist for their service, too. We consider beef from cows that live normally to be the luxury instead of the standard. There is one moment in everyone's life where your birth and death are the exact same distance. A true antisocial social club members are not a member of the club. Pouring a cup of coffee on your face helps you more to wake up than drinking it. The heart is a timer counting downwards toward your death. The only difference between a church and a cult is the number of members. The hardest time to breathe normally is when you're told to just breathe normally. A punch hurts, but a slap feels more personal. When you take a dump, you're disposing of used batteries. People can see almost any place in the world on Google Maps, and the first thing they look up is their own house. Most people won't ever know if they're amazing at something. If hockey arenas didn't have round corners, the puck getting stuck in a corner every 2 minutes would make it horrible to watch. Normal sex is co-op, masturbating is single player, gangbangs are multiplayer, and rape is getting hacked. If you never cut your nails, you'd have a progress bar of your life so far. Horrifying and terrifying are synonyms, but horrific and terrific are not. You've probably walked past a serial killer who felt you weren't worth the effort. It's a good thing blinking doesn't make a noise. If you respond with "I don't care," it makes you sound disrespectful and not interested. If you respond with surprise me, you sound more interested with a similar amount of apathy. Having a pancake stack completely defeats the purpose of a pancake, which is being a flat cake. The first phone in the world couldn't be used until a second one was made. If Batman commercializes all his tech and gadgets, he can single-handedly solve the Gotham crime problem by providing millions of jobs. When you are clapping, you are beating yourself because you like something. Infertile women must feel so angry that they have periods. All of the downside with none of the benefits. Leaf blowers turn old dinosaurs into wind. Everyone starts counting from 1, but actually the timer starts at 0. A more pixel Y image actually has less pixels. Burping a baby is one of the few instances where the old basic training saying the beatings will continue until morale improves is actually true. Whoever looked at a loaf of bread and said cook it again is a genius. If you could hack a bionic arm, you could play next level. Why are you hitting yourself? When you're drunk AF and fall over, it's just Mother Earth slapping you in the head for being irresponsible. Every Lego person has the same muscle mass. The construction workers who built the Batcave underneath Bruce Wayne's house knew who Batman was. Eventually everyone that has a memory of you will die and you'll never be thought of again. Lego people live inside houses and drive vehicles made from their own flesh. Statistically speaking, there is a chance that you will win all games of paper, scissors, rock from now on for the rest of your life. Almost any dog could probably pick up Mjolnir, since they have pure souls. If you drive from Norway to North Korea, you only have to move one country. To a real bear, a teddy bear would just be a doll. Someone saying "I'll have you killed" is oftentimes scarier than "I'll kill you." The distance scrolled on our phones is probably more than the distance we walked physically. Hired and fired are nearly the same word, meaning the complete opposite, with fired having a built-in F for the chat. The ceramics industry in Hyrule must be very successful. If you break the laws of mankind, you go to jail. If you break the laws of physics, well, you go to Sweden. You know what you never see as a prize on a game show? Land. Adulthood is getting together with friends and who wants a shot. Turns into who needs a coffee. People believe in the results of a DNA paternity test but don't believe that humans and chimps have a common genetic background. The people in Mickey Mouse/Minnie Mouse costumes don't even have to smile for pictures. They could be frowning, and no one would know. Wonder if Peter Pettigrew was neutered when he lived as a pet rat. There is probably not a more pointless insult than calling your brother a son of a bitch. People used to watch the news to find out what was happening in the world. Now, a lot of the news is designed to distract us from what's happening in the world. Leo Hendrik Beck-Eland was one of the most important men in recent history, and nobody knows who he is. He is the man who invented plastic. If employers had access to people's in-game chats, no gamers would ever get hired. Crunchy leaves are nature's form of bubble wrap, both satisfying to walk on. And just like that, thousands of car radios and oven clocks are showing the correct time again. Guessing is cheap. Guessing wrong is expensive. The issue with speaking a second language is that you can know it well enough to speak it formally, but not casually. Vanity license plates are old-fashioned usernames. The most unrealistic part about Star Wars is that with all of the battles in every movie and the only thing to get PTSD was a droid, R2-D2 shut down when Luke disappeared. Enough people exist in the world that the odds are you're probably masturbating at the same time a million other people are too. I'd bet some serial killers attend the funerals of their victims. All animals have sex to create new life. It is possible that an entity had sex to create all the life we know. The universe could have really began with a Big Bang. Tomorrow is the 69th day of the year and the decade. Nice. With how much amateur porn is on the internet, there are probably a few hundred videos floating around of people actually conceiving their children. There's something both magical and unsettling about the first swipe of toilet paper coming off clean. Peaceful beings from another planet may be checking on Earth every 50 years or so, to see if we are still killing each other before they introduce themselves. With N95 masks costing more than some luxury handbags, it wouldn't be surprising if more people started wearing the masks to just show off their wealth. If a baby came out in 9 minutes instead of 9 months, people would take birth control more seriously. If Prince Charming went all over his kingdom fitting a random shoe to strangers' feet, the townspeople must have thought he had a foot fetish. Our passwords are technically one of the longest secrets you've kept in your life. There are probably many people who could have contracted COVID-19 but washed their hands. Extraordinary sounds negative while extraordinary sounds positive. Each time you take a breath you extend your life for 3 minutes.